Okay, folks, I have a Samsung UN70NU6900F version YA02. This will be the fourth TV that's come into our shop since January 1st of 2022. And the first three all had the same issue. The screen would just flash on and off, no picture. So we're going to troubleshoot this guy, and the other three had bad panels, and I'm going to assume this one has a bad panel also when I go in. So I'm going to go to directly and check. So if I plug it up, it may come on, it may not. The red LED is flashing. And it's flashing on. Stand it up, and you may be able to see it flashing. There we go. It's on, off. It's a blank screen. That's the main board detecting that there's a problem and turn everything back off. So it sends a signal, LEDs are on, and then back off. So let's get to it and figure out what's causing this problem. First thing I want to do is lay it on its face. If you got long arms like me, you can handle a 70-inch by yourself. All right. First thing we want to do is pop off the back cover. I use two metal pry tools, and I start somewhere in the corner over here. Try to get up under there without putting pressure on the screen itself. If I can get my pry tool in there enough, you'll hear it snap, and I just shove it in there. Sometimes I use more than one. Sometimes it's easy to just use one. And you work your way around. Around this corner. Gotta be careful. Some of these, the plastic will actually break on you. Just nice and easy. Sounds like I'm cracking the TV screen. It's a scary sound, but it's just those clamps releasing. So then there's the middle one. So I lift in the middle, and then I just working until it's ready to free up. They obviously left something in here. Looks like they probably broke their little optical wire. So that's what's keeping it. So you always gotta pay attention. And then there's some screws left. They left the feet screws on. Get those out the way. Okay, so let's see if we can get it off this time. Usually just lift nicely. And see, they didn't snap back in just that quick. All right, I gotta break them loose again. Here we go. Let's not get to it. So just gently lift up and it'll free itself. And then turn it sideways. And then you can take it off. Just be careful with it. It'll snap in half. Once it snaps in half, then it'll be an ugly TV. Even though you can possibly glue the parts back together. Nobody looks at the back of the TV anyway, but it's mounted on the wall. Okay. So the first test you can do is you can check the power supply and make sure the LEDs stay on, because that can cause flashing symptoms also. So the first thing I do is I plug in, I unplug the main board wire going to the power supply. And let me check the camera, make sure you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. Plug the power in and the LEDs should turn on. And they did. If you look through the cracks, you'll see that the LEDs are on. You should be able to see the light coming through. There's light coming through right here. All the little holes, there's light coming through. I guess you can tell on the camera. Let me unplug it and see if those areas become dark on the camera. Yes, they do. So you can tell that the lights came on. So that tells me the LEDs are fine and the power supply is fine. So the main board is sending the signal to the power supply, turn the LEDs on. All right, and OD on is the signal that tells the LEDs to turn on. OD on, and PWM BLU signal. All right. So the next thing I do is, obviously something is loading down the power, or the main board doesn't like. So the next thing I do is I disconnect these cables. Doesn't have a T-con, so this goes straight into the main panel. If the LEDs stay on after that, then I know the panel is bad. So the first thing I do is go back to the state we were in. You can see the LEDs actually flashing on and off. You look. LEDs on, minimum, and then off. Okay. So what I'll then do is remove this tape, unplug it. You can unplug it from the other end also, if you're not comfortable with unplugging it by the board. I'm careful with it. I would probably recommend you unplugging it from this end instead of by the board. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect one ribbon cable and lay it back down. The metal connectors aren't touching anything but plastic. It's up in the air. So now I'm gonna plug the power supply back in. And as you notice, the LEDs come on. They're at medium. And you hear sound. How about that? And the LEDs are fully on. That tells me that we have a panel issue. Okay? If I carefully stand the TV up, you can see that the screen is blue. If I touch it a little bit, you can see the light. It's there. See that? All I did was disconnect the ribbon cable here. All right. More than likely, if I plug this ribbon cable up and disconnect this one, the LEDs will stay on also. So just to test that, because right now I believe this side of the panel has an issue. So I'm gonna plug this ribbon cable back in and unplug this one. There's some colored data lines or something going on that side, and I believe that's the problem with this TV. The last one I repaired, that's what it was. So I unplugged the other left side of the panel, or if you flip the TV over, that's actually the right side. Power back in. LEDs are on with the logo mode. There's sound. So we have found what's causing the TV not to turn on, and it's the actual panel. Okay, so what we're going to do is unplug it again, put this back in, unplug this one, flip it over, tape it down so that I can work on it. And I'm going to try to eliminate a couple of data lines. Let me bring the camera closer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I am going to try and do is I am going to start about 12 pins over, and I'm going to mask a couple of pins. So I'm going to take a piece of painter's tape, and cut a nice straight line, and I think I will be using probably be cutting a piece of tape approximately 9 millimeters. I was cutting a piece of tape approximately 9 millimeters wide. Let's zero that guy out. So I'd be cutting a piece of tape approximately 9 millimeters wide. Can you see that? Sorry about that. Approximately 9 millimeters wide piece of tape. Okay. 9 millimeters would put me about right there. Okay. So about right there. Let's get this off. Let's open this up. I may make it less than that, but we're going to start out with 9. Approximately 9. That's the size piece of tape that I'm going to use for our first try. So I try not to touch the tape because I want it to stick really well. I got a pair of tweezers. Let me get my tweezers. I was thinking about using Kapton tape too. But anyway, I'm not sure. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. So we're going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Approximately right there. So I'm going to mask all of that. Right there. So I put a piece of tape and covered those lines right there. If that works for us, then I'm going to mark it with a magic marker so I know I don't lose my place. And then we'll do like a little science project, and we'll try to cut some of that tape off. But that's where we're going to start. So this is what it looks like. Okay? Move this out the way. So then I go in and I just plug it, slide it back in carefully, not to knock the tape off. Click it in. I'm not sure if you can see. Let me see. Let me bring it over here. Okay, I slid it in the main board, and this plastic heart pushes in all the way up to the line right there. Close down. That line should be just about even with the clamp. Okay. So if we're lucky, the TV ought to stay on, and we'll have a picture again. So just backing it back some. Let me put power back in. Let's see what happens. LEDs on. LEDs in low light condition. It's probably the logo. And wow, we have sound. So that's when the TV is on. So let me back this up so I can stand the TV up, and we're gonna see if we have a picture. I'm gonna stand it upside down at first, and then if I have a picture, you'll be able to tell. Voila, look, we have a picture, everyone. We have a perfect picture. I don't see any horizontal defects. I noticed when I tried this the other day on another model, as I cut the tape even shorter and shorter and shorter, I got horizontal lines right here going to the middle of the screen. So those data lines I exposed, and that's what's actually wrong with the TV on this side of the TV. Okay, so we have a picture, everyone, and at this point I'm gonna just leave it like that for now. I'll cut the TV off and we'll flip it over and we'll get an image. Okay, so I'm gonna use the remote this time. Power it off. Okay. Unplug it. We'll put the back cover back on. We'll take this tape that we flipped over and put it back the other side so it can hold that cable in place. And we'll snap the cover back on, because what I need to do now is stand this TV up, or lean it so I can judge the picture. Okay, I have a wall mount stand for this, but I'm just going to lean it against this table. Push it forward, snap it on. Everything is snapped in place. I'll be using a coaxial cable for an open air antenna. So let me set the TV down. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. Flip the TV over. Turn it around. Use your knees to set it down, not your back. You're gonna pull your back. I'm going to connect my external coaxial antenna cable up. And make the 70-inch TVs pretty light now. No wonder they're so light. The quality of the screen is no good. Okay. For all you that want your 70-inch TV working again, you can bring it into me and let me take care of it with this procedure, or you can try it yourself. Just be safe. Be careful. Okay. So let's back it up. I have to handle the camera myself. Okay, so the TV didn't come on yet, so we'll turn it on. have a picture. So the next thing we're going to want to do is see if the people use this for TV or not. We don't want to set up wide. We don't want to go on the internet. We want to go to TV. Well, looky. We actually have a picture. Local channel 13. And if you pay close attention to the words down at the bottom of the screen, you can see that over here it's a little more redder than over here. So we're going to put the TV back on the table, and we're going to cut some of the data lines down. We're going to expose or allow a couple more of those data lines to reach the TV. So I'm going to cut the tape shorter. Okay. But we have a picture. And as you see, the panel was our problem. And obviously, lines that are in charge of the color has bad circuitry in the panel itself. Okay, I'll flip this over. Hello? Yes, I'm here. Just a minute, folks. Okay, so we have to open this guy back up. Here we go again. It'll be much easier this time. Sometimes I don't put the cover back on. I did it today for demonstration purposes. See, it comes off pretty easy this time because I didn't snap it completely. Just enough to cover the back circuitry. That way there's no mistakes. Slowly lift it up, turn it on an angle, and then take it off. So now we have the picture back. The TV comes on. Now we're going to attempt to add some color. Okay. So get my cutting knife, and you don't cut too deep. Just cut deep enough to tear the actual tape. So I'm gonna flip it over. Let's bring this closer. About the camera moving all over the place, but I don't have the fancy professional camera. Okay, so I'm going to cut probably along here just to expose a couple of more of those color lines. So before I do that, I like to mark where the TV actually did work, just in case I have to go back and put the tape and go from the other side. So I put a magic marker on this side. That lets me know where my boundary was. See that? Lets me know where the tape boundary was. Then I'm just going to cut a nice little chunk off arbitrarily. Probably along here. I'm not going to get greedy, because I've tried this before and too many, then I got to go back and put tape back. So I lift the tape up a little bit. I don't want to dig into the ribbon cable with this X-Acto knife, so I'd rather just slightly cut it and then use a pair of tweezers to free up some of this tape. Not too much. So I'm not sure if you can actually see what I've done, but I just cut a little corner off. And that's about all I'm gonna do. I'm even going, after that, got to give us some more color back on that side of the screen, and we'll just adjust the color after that, either up or down, just to even out the screen. And then that's your TV. That's the best we can do. Other than that, you would have to put this TV in the garbage. This sort of that cut I did ought to give it enough color to make the TV usable as a color TV. And this time, I'm going to put the screen, the back cover back on. I actually have some universal feet that I can put on this TV. I may be able to put them on. Let's see. Not mess with the speaker. Yes, I can put I got universal feet. Put my universal feet on. All right. What size screw? Big screw. Does this work, or is that too small? Too small. Too small. Those are perfect. Perfecto. Do some more stuff. Okay. Will I be able to do this? Let's see if I set it off some. Looks like that'll work right there. I always like to hand tighten them first when I'm doing something like this. That way I don't cross thread and mess up the mount. Alright. Make sure you're in on the action. Yes, you are. Set that here. In there. This will be strong. This will be just enough to hold the TV while we check it out. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. Now we're just setting this guy up. That's 30 enough there. Guy on the table, and then I'm gonna walk it around so it can face the right, so it can face the audience. Shoot. I shouldn't have did it from the get yet. Let's go back. Get my morning exercise in. Walking on around. The feet is kind of loose on this thing, but it's just enough to hold it up. Hold it up for me. All right. Reconnecting the antenna so we can have a picture. I need the power cord. Where did it go? Power cord. Power cord. Turn the TV on. Adjust this up. Okay. So we're still missing a lot of color. Let me see if I can turn the color up and that'll help it.
It is certainly colder than average.
Settings.
As that Arctic front dives in, we actually have freezing temperatures in the forecast here.
Oh, they have it set on natural.
This outlook. So through the weekend, still warm and breezy.
I like to set it to standard.
Best chance for rain on Tuesday. Next front on Friday drops highs into the 50s.
And then expert settings.
Right around freezing. We'll talk more about that front coming up in just a bit. Jeff. Kevin, thanks.
And let's give it some more color. If this doesn't work, then we're going to have to cut some of the data lines on it going on the other end of the tape.
This weekend only at Ashley's VIP event. Save up to 25% off.
Settings.
Get 0% interest for 24 months. That's up to 25% off your
Color.
entire purchase, plus take 2 years to pay. Saturday and Sunday only at Ashley.
It's not enough to be the leader in robotic assisted.
I gave it some color back.
If we're not by your side for every
Not bad at all.
guiding you back to what makes you you.
Let's check
Because it's not
the
enough to replace you if we're not getting you to the moments that can't be replaced. Memorial Herman.
let's check what do we want to check? Let's go to, they never used this online. No, cancel. We want to go to setup. No, cancel. We want to go to apps. Yes, term policy setup. Wireless connection. Skip. What I would like to do. Done. Okay.
Surrounded by warm, clear.
What I would like to do is.
Enjoy it. It's amazing you'll ever have time. Come up for air. Key West. Close to perfect. Far from normal.
I'm Neil Arman,
I'm Saz.
and we live in Columbia, Missouri. We do consulting, but we also write.
We take care of ourselves constantly.
I am going to put the TV on the internet. Use a Ethernet cable
We've both been taking Prevagen for a little more than
instead of Wi-Fi.
After about 30 days and taking
Use the Ethernet cable instead of Wi-Fi.
that we didn't notice before.
I could use Wi-Fi, but
Still notice a difference.
it's quicker for me to just use the Ethernet cable and get on the internet right away.
Only at Ashley's.
Okay, but you got to go in settings and tell it to use the Ethernet cable.
Get 0% interest for 24 months. That's up to 25% off your entire
Under
purchase,
general,
plus take 2 years to pay.
network,
Saturday
come
and
on now,
Sunday only
settings.
at Ashley.
Say yes to opportunity. Apply now. YesPrep.org/say
There's a
yes.
delay. My mind is moving faster than it. Settings, net, open network.
Disappeared after a fishing trip with friends on Lake Livingston. His remains were discovered in a wooded area in Polk County 2 years.
Wired, choose wired for Ethernet. Let it connect. It's connected.
Investigation into his death.
So now I can go
His
to,
group of friends, his family, and his brothers.
I can go to
Somebody
The apps.
Somebody there knows what happened. Somebody knows the truth.
The family is pleading with anyone who had contact with Rugg in the days leading up to his disappearance to
And they haven't been on the internet yet with this TV, so click agree all. Okay. Done. I just want to go to YouTube, and there's a 4K app that I like to choose for picture quality. On YouTube. We don't want to do any of those, we just want to go next. Done.
The prices are going to continue to go up. And it could go on above $4 a gallon
Come on.
in the Houston
Come on.
area.
Well, MLB players have started a $1 million.
YouTube. Well, folks, this is the end of the video. This is how it's done. I will probably add more data lines for the picture quality, but I'll let the customer decide. Thanks for watching.